All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the 210 show. Today we got a very good pod for you.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
cover some MLB, we're going to cover some NFL Week 3 preview, as well as some up picks. But before we get into this, let's go ahead and toss it over for introductions. I am one of your co-hosts, Mr. Raider, and I'm going to toss it off to Angry Joey next.
I am Angry Joey. I am the hater with facts back one more time.
It's Tom.
And I'm Wu Pixie.
All righty, well, let's go ahead and get into it. Angry Joey, I know you got some baseball you want to talk about. Take us away.
Holy cow. As we are ramping up for the playoffs, there are some really crazy things that have actually been happening along the league. Let's see. Okay, so hold on just a second. Let me pull this up here. There are some well-known facts about what's going on as of the conclusion of the 2024 season. Now, I don't have the most updated version yet, but I'll try to update as best as I possibly can. The teams that have faced each other, the Giants and the Dodgers, have faced each other, if you can believe this, 2,585 times. That's minus the current season. Since 1889 is when they actually started playing against each other, right? Okay, so now just to kind of put it into preference, the Dodgers were founded in 1885, whereas the Giants were founded in 1883. So that's when the whole rivalry started. So let's not make any mistake here. The true rivalry between the Dodgers, it's not the Padres. It's always been the Giants. It's always been that case, and it
Right.
always will be. Okay, so including the playoffs, the Giants have actually led the series 1,286 to 1,282 with 17 ties. Both franchises have won 8 World Series titles. Okay, now that kind of sucks, because I mean it comes on the behest of the freaking
27 with the Yankees.
yeah, exactly. Unless somebody actually drops a bomb on New York, it's not gonna, that's never gonna be defeated. I don't think 27.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny because the Giants and the Dodgers both came from New York too. So, like,
I
some of
know,
their World
right?
Series may have been when they were New York teams.
Yeah, exactly. So when you do a search for the Dodgers, you have to include Brooklyn, and of course, I mean the Giants, they've been in San Fran, but anyway, so it's kind of crazy, that the tie up has actually, for the first time in since 1885, has actually been broken, and that came last night. When the Dodgers actually beat the Giants. So now they actually have the win total against them for the first time in franchise history. How's that?
Yeah, that's surprising actually.
Yeah, that's a crazy cool stat.
Yeah. So anyway, now that we're actually gearing up for the playoffs, I kind of find it interesting that if you kind of look at things, that the entire American League is, nobody has actually solidified themselves as a playoff team. Everything is so much in the woods there, whereas with the National League, you have the Phillies. They're the first to actually solidify their division. Okay, they're going to be a problem for anybody. They are a menace, and even more so would be the Brewers, which is interesting, because they actually have the Cubs that are right on their heels. They've actually got themselves a playoff berth, and then the Dodgers, they actually solidified themselves as a playoff team as well. So the playoff teams in the National League, man, that's gonna be a monster. I mean, there's gonna be some great games out of that division, or excuse me, out of that conference altogether. The East, or excuse me, the American League. Holy cow! I mean, I'm looking at Toronto.
Yeah.
they're killing it. I mean, and could it
Crazy,
be
right?
so
Who would have
that
thought?
that the Yankees do not make the playoffs this year? I mean, what do you think there, Tony? I mean, do you think that the Yankees are actually going to make the playoffs?
I mean, I do. I mean, they're currently the fourth seed, right? A lot would have to go wrong. It's possible, but I do think they'll get in.
Okay, and then here you have the Tigers. There you go, Rico. The Tigers, they're in command.
Hater the facts.
Game and a
They
half,
are.
though.
Yeah, they're a
Close.
game and a half, but I mean, the Guardians, they're clipping at their heels. So
Yeah.
it, it,
Dude,
I'm
don't
sorry.
even get me started about the Tigers right now. Like they're literally pissing down their leg right now. They got swept by the Guardians about 3 or
Yeah, that
5
was
days
huge.
ago.
Huge.
They're in a series with the Braves right now. Their first game they lost 10-1, and then they lost again today. This might be an epic collapse. I don't
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I really can't. It sucks.
Yeah, and so the American League is, man, it's a hot mess. It really is. I mean, as far as who's going to do what, who's going to be where. There's no real huge. What am I looking for here? There's no real true contender here.
No, because does anybody really feel good like that the Blue Jays and the Mariners are dominant? Now, I would be afraid to face the Mariners in the playoffs because their pitching is probably the best in baseball, so I'd be afraid of that. But
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting, Joey. Like you're saying, the Guardians are only a game and a half behind the Tigers. And I don't even know what that's a yes last night, right? So Guardians a game and a half behind the Tigers for the AL Central, but they're also like a game behind the Red Sox and the Astros for a wild card. So it's there's only a week left of baseball, literally 7 days. It's going to be wild. I'll tell you that.
What
Hey,
about the Mariners?
that
Yeah,
wild
I know
card's going to be wild.
there's only like what, four games left, 4 games left
Yeah.
in the season. So I mean, the American League is just.
What about the Mariners? They're on top of the AL West. That's pretty.
They are, but they only
Interesting.
have a lead. Okay, so again, they only have a lead by one game. So they're the second
game.
seed, but they could lose. They could all of a sudden find themselves in a wild card game. It's so everything is so close. The Astros can go from being out to one game to being the AL West winners.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. Ironically, guess who they're actually playing tonight? Houston.
Who?
They're playing Houston.
Mariner. Seattle and Houston.
No, Mariners. They're actually playing Houston tonight. They are, so I mean, if there's any kind of skin in the game right now, I mean, it's right there. I mean, who's gonna, if Houston actually wins, they tie it.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's huge. That's gonna be that's a
That's a
huge game.
huge game. Now, after that, they actually have Colorado, who's a joke. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's definitely the Wild West.
I'm interested. Did you see the Kershaw's send off yesterday?
Oh,
Bro, he
man.
was one of my favorite players to do. So it was
Yeah.
fucking
So
awesome.
that was really magnificent.
It
I mean,
was.
yeah, I did.
He-
I
beast. Hall of
actually did.
Famer.
I watched that one, and I mean, how can you not root for the man? I mean, he's just a consummate.
Yeah. So where
Yeah.
would you rank him as far as like with the Clemenses, with the Glavins? Where would you put him? With the Randy Johnsons?
Kershaw?
Yeah.
Given where he actually came from and what he has done, gosh dang. Well, I mean, he's obviously a Hall of Famer, but
Right. I say Maddox, man. I'd put him up there in
Dude,
that group with Maddox.
he's as good as any pitcher ever. And
Yeah.
all you have to do is look at his stats, and it'll back it up. I don't have him in front of me because I didn't know we were going to be talking about this, but and now I'm a little biased because I love the guy ever since he was in the minor leagues because I play fantasy baseball and I drafted him when he was not even in the majors yet. But he's amazing. He's amazing. He's as good as any pitcher ever. I think easily top 20 pitcher of all time. And I know that sounds top 20, but think of how many pitchers there's been, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, shit, the game's been going since 1889. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Dude, he's
yeah.
absolutely, he's incredible. That that lefty with that huge 12-6 curve. Oh,
Yeah,
just
Well, he
beautiful,
has
man.
that slider that is just unhittable. I mean,
yeah, it's nasty.
it's just sick. I
It's
mean, he is such a good player, and he's such a competitor. He literally despises losing. And you gotta admire the guy like that.
yeah, I'd put him in there. So for me, I would put him in there with like Greg Maddux, Pedro, Roger, and Nolan. That's the group
Yeah.
I'd put him in.
Yeah, but he's like such a different pitcher than them. He was so crafty
Yeah,
because he was like this weird lefty with this huge curve, and he wasn't a dominant power pitcher, and a lot of lefties aren't, but and he's often compared to Koufax, which I think is super like that's totally legit. But Clemens and Johnson are huge power pitchers. I guess from the right side, you can say like Matt. You brought up Maddox. I think that's probably more appropriate. Clemens and Randy Johnson were just like total dominate you with power. So
yeah,
different pitchers, but
Yeah,
all of
absolutely.
them are
So yeah,
in the same class, right?
yeah. You talk
yeah.
about Rand, he was more known for his fastball. I mean, just ask the pigeon that he fucking killed. But
Tiger, dude.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, I think you're talking about two different styles.
No,
But
no. What I was talking about was that
no
I
less
would
great
place
at
him
all.
in that group. That's what I'm saying. I think he has elements from all those guys. He had the control of Maddox. He could, if you look at his strikeouts, that clearly says that he does have power as well. And he had maximum control like Smoltz. So that's what I'm saying. I'm putting him in that kind of category with those kind of guys. He's a little bit of all of them if you think about it.
Yeah, he's
But either
amazing.
way,
But all right,
I mean, however you mix it up, I mean, I think that these playoffs are shaping up to be really, really fun to watch. I am so
I
excited.
agree.
This is such an exciting time of baseball. And if you're not a baseball fan, man, okay. So just for the record, I actually alienated myself away from baseball for the longest time, just because I was so sick and tired of all the protests and the layoffs and I mean, if it wasn't the owners, then it was the players. If it wasn't the players, then it was the umps. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just getting ridiculous. It's almost unwatchable. They have actually resurrected themselves to the point where it is magnificent again. It is America's pastime. It is fun to watch. It's
Dude,
really
Shohei Ohtani helps, right? Like,
Oh
come
yeah.
on.
well,
It's a good
okay.
time.
So to be a Dodger fan, yeah, that's
Dude,
nice.
baseball. Dude,
But I love the game. It's just so fun to
but I
watch.
love Ohtani and I love watching him, like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it's
I,
it's
I
about
I loved watching the Phillies. I mean, I'm such an
no, I don't.
anti Philadelphia fan, but at the same time,
Fuck
the
Phillies.
Phillies, they are fun to watch. They're a good team. They really
So,
are.
so question.
Them,
So
Joey.
since the playoffs are coming in, just a quick question: did they do some rule changes? Like, did they accelerate the pitching clock? I thought there was something they were doing for this upcoming playoff.
Well, they did, but it's interesting, that it's funny. I haven't, I saw it earlier in the season, but I haven't seen it.
Hmm.
Am I wrong, Tony? I mean, have you seen
Yep.
the
No,
pitching
no,
clock?
no, yes, absolutely. It's absolutely there. It's just that so last year they implemented that. And you just don't notice it anymore, but the games are way quicker than they used to be. Like literally like I think the average MLB game now is like 2 hours and 29 minutes or something, where it used to be like over 3 hours. So that happened the beginning of last year and it's gotten way better. I think what you don't notice, which is a good thing, is that
Oh, is the
everybody's
clock.
gotten used to it now. So you just don't even care because the players have gotten used to it. Because there's not only a pitch clock, but the batters can't just be hanging out outside the box and shit whenever they want either, which took up
Right, right,
time.
right. And
Yeah.
and
So
and
there
I'm
everybody's
not
like on
I'm
a
not
clock.
hating that. Yeah, I'm totally not hating that. But yes, I knew that they actually did it, but, if I remember right, initially they started putting putting it on they started televising the time clocks and stuff like that. But you watch a game now and it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, no, because they don't need to. Last year they did it because it was the first year, so I'm
Okay.
glad that they don't. So like, it's not like a thing anymore, and that's cool. Yeah, it may be confusing sometimes when when they're like, why is this guy get a walk? You know, like why does he go to first base? And like non-casual fans might not understand why, you know, but yeah, you know, whatever. I'm glad they don't do it because it's part of baseball now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
All right, but
who y'all
before
got winning?
I know we got a lot of okay. I'll tell you that after this because you know I don't know if the audience knows this, but I'm a huge Mets fan. So and you know the Mets are in a huge race right now. So I can't I would be remiss if I didn't mention my Mets. We are in we have the last wild card spot right now in the NL, and we are leading the Reds by 2 games. So every day I'm watching my Mets and it's very stressful, guys. Okay.
Yeah, I can
Um,
imagine.
yeah, because not only
2
do we have to
games?
win, but we
Yeah.
have to hope that other teams aren't winning either. You know, so it's
Yeah.
so I really hope we get in, man. We got these 3 young pitchers that we called up, and they look good, and you know, just want to see what happens. You know, in my opinion, we were the second best team in the majors last year at the end of the season. We played the Dodgers better than the Yankees did in the World Series. You know, we played them in the NLCS. So,
It is a fact. This is a fact.
yep.
You know, I mean, the Dodgers, they had no business being in, or excuse me, the Yankees, they had no business being in the
Well,
World.
the AL just wasn't as good as the NL last year. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. I'm excited though, Joey. Like you're saying, I'm excited for the playoffs. I think your point is valid. If just watch some baseball this playoffs, and I think you'll be happy. You know, if you're
Yeah.
a sport fan, watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And Joe, you
so
got any
right now,
predictions?
what I'm saying right now is the Mets, they're playing the Nationals, and they
Yes, don't take
are
it.
tied
Yes,
2-2. Oh, goodness gracious. That
we
could
whooped them last night.
interesting.
But
Okay,
all right,
I just have one thing to add here, and I shouldn't have done it, but I just looked at the schedule for the Tigers going forward, right?
Yep.
They had just lost their 5th straight game. They have
Damn.
one more game against Atlanta, and we got 2
It's
series left.
critical. Okay,
Right.
hold on. I gotta see this.
Well,
Okay.
their next after their series with Atlanta, they are at Cleveland for a 3-game series,
Ooh.
and then we finish the season with a 3-game series at Boston.
You guys just lost to the Braves. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
Oh, that's nasty.
Talk about a schedule at the end of the year, though, Rico. Goodness gracious.
I'm not I don't feel good about this, dude. I really don't feel good about it. And what makes it worse, if this has been us all season, like we've been good, but when we hit a low, we hit a low. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
bad
we go
time.
straight to
Yeah.
the down cellar, dude. And we can't get ourselves out of it. I don't understand. Like AJ Hinch is a great manager, but for whatever reason, we can't pick ourselves up, man.
Hey, look,
We can't turn ourselves around.
sometimes it's just baseball is so long. You have these like ebbs and flows throughout the year. It's just bad timing, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's just how baseball is. It's just really, really, really bad timing.
Very well said,
But
Tony.
those
I mean,
last 2 theories,
yeah, very well
last 2
said.
theories.
You actually, how many times have I actually said, how the Dodgers have pissed me off, because, they shit the bed for like 2 weeks straight. And then all of a sudden they just light people up. The same is true for almost every team except for the Rockies. Other I mean, it's, any kind of contending team, it's just like they take a rest.
I don't know what
All
the
right,
hell.
Joey, who you got? Who you got? Who are your picks?
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
Joey,
who do you
give
got
us your
making the
pick.
playoffs?
Do this real quick.
Who do I have making the playoffs?
Yeah,
Playoffs?
going to the pennant.
No, not make the playoffs. Just do the championship game and World Series or something.
I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research. I wasn't.
No, you don't. Just instinct.
Okay, so if I had to guess, I hate to say this, but I don't see the Dodgers getting past the Phillies.
Okay. I understand that.
All year long, the Phillies have actually just kicked their ass relentlessly. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that the Phillies are going to be the team to beat in the National League. In the American League, I don't know. I'd have to, right now the Blue Jays, they're looking pretty tough.
All right, give us your damn picks, Joey.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say Blue Jays and and Phillies in the series. It's a tough take, I mean, just because the American League is such a mess right now and so tough to pin down on who's going to do what, But right now, on paper, those are the teams to beat.
Who wins?
Phillies. I think the Phillies. Just have
Oh
more grit.
hell no! Come on, man. No,
Enrico, it's
I
your
can't.
turn. Then do your picks.
No, I can't. No, I'm just saying I can't take another Philadelphia championship. No, no, we can't have that. No,
Okay, well,
God.
no, we're
All right,
not. We're not talking about what we want, because if I wanted it, it would be the Dodgers, But here we are, I mean, let's talk real talk. Who's gonna do
Eh,
it?
yeah, I guess. Whatever. I just nothing against the Phillies. You know what I'm saying? They've gone through their doldrums, but I'm just saying the Eagles have messed it up for the whole damn city. I'm sorry. They wreck my nerves. Anyway, I'm with you, Joey. I really can't. I really can't make a call on this, but just taking a guess, I'm just gonna go off the wall here. I'm gonna go Brewers, Blue Jays, World Series with the Brewers winning.
Oh, all right, Tony. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, okay. Look. I'm gonna exclude my Mets from this, right? I'm not gonna be biased. I'm gonna go kind of what I want to see, but also what I think is likely to happen. I think the Brewers in the National League, and the Mariners may not even make the playoffs, which is crazy, but they do have the best pitching in all of baseball, probably. So, and now then you have the magical Cal Rally season, and you still have solid hitters and Julio Rodriguez and stuff. So I'm gonna go kind of off the wall. Mariners, Brewers, and Brewers win.
Nice take. I'm not hating it.
Yeah. If I wanted to be dangerous, I would just, if I'm just shooting from the hip, I would love to see a Tigers Dodgers pennant. I think that would be great.
Man,
You know,
yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah.
that'd be like Goliath, David and Goliath story. The Tigers getting there and MLB has
Yeah.
or Dodgers have this huge payroll. I would love to see that.
I
Dodgers,
just hope
Tigers.
it's not Dodgers, Yankees again. Okay,
Oh
Yeah,
God, no!
Oh,
Please, please,
definitely.
no.
yeah,
anything
I'd
but that,
see that.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
But
All right. Well, do we have anything else on baseball?
Well,
I
I got a quick question.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I don't really keep up with baseball. There's just a couple reasons why I'm not a big fan. But as an outsider, I had a question. So, what do you guys think about the you guys that do follow baseball? What do you think about the salary cap debate that they have going right now? Because right now they're talking about.
There is none.
Well, I know there isn't, but they're discussing in the upcoming CBA about instituting or some of the
Well,
owners are talking about maybe introducing a salary cap for baseball.
I actually think it's what separates baseball from the rest, and I think it's cool. And like, why does there have to be one? It's not like every team. This, yes, I know the Yankees have always won in the past, but when's the last time the Yankees won? In 2008? It's fucking, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
a long
it's been a
time
while.
ago. So what I'm like, there's a lot of parity in baseball without there having to be a salary cap. I kind of like it. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. It comes because it separates it from other sports. We don't know what the salary cap would look like and how it would change the game that we know now. It's always fun, isn't it, to root against these teams that spend a shit ton of money. Like we just signed Juan Soto $750 million contract. Everybody's like, and we're not great, just because one player. Baseball's different than a lot of sports. So,
Well, there is the Dodgers, though.
Yeah,
but what they've won one World Series though.
Yeah, but they've been knocking on the door forever, and now
Don't
they
win.
have, huh?
They don't
They've-
win like
they've-
the
they've been-
Astros. The Astros are way more successful than the Dodgers have been, and they haven't been spending a shit ton of money.
This is very true. And let's not forget the fact that the Dodgers have actually made the playoffs 13 times. 13 this is their 13th season that they've actually made the playoffs, and they've won one.
yeah, awful.
So, are you
Well,
saying
and
they're
so-
wasting money?
So for the record,
I mean, you would think, but I mean, hey, the owner may not think it because we know that they do sell a lot of merchandise and ticket. They're still they still make money, but the wins aren't following, which I think is funny and cool, right? Let them spend as much as they want, who cares?
Yeah, from somebody from outside, from an like, an outsider who doesn't keep up with baseball, if they did something like that, it would be such a game changer that it might actually appeal to someone such as myself to start watching baseball
Would
if
it
they
though? Why? I don't.
just uh, from a fairness standpoint, I guess you could
Dude, that's
say, where
bullshit.
everyone's got a
Who
level
gives a
playing
fuck
field.
about fair? Just go win, dude. The Tampa Bay Rays, look how good they've been by being good.
Well,
Just just
again,
be just be
I don't
good.
know anything about baseball. I'm just saying the NFL has one, the NBA has one, hockey has one, soccer has one, like, there's every other major sports league in the world has a salary cap of some sort,
And
so
and look at how and you could argue that all those other sports have less parity than MLB does.
well, they certainly got more eyeballs on them. So I think that's the main reason they're
Saying though, it's
discussing
kind of
it.
interesting, right? Like all these sports have salary caps, and it should provide some parity, but it actually doesn't
Well,
really.
well,
Yeah,
here's the thing
I think
too.
they're looking at it from an eyeball standpoint. They're losing viewership in baseball. Not as many people are watching it.
I don't. I disagree. I
Especially
disagree. Actually, the numbers
well, the numbers.
are
I mean,
good.
from what
They're
I
still the
looked up,
second most successful sport in America.
yeah, and then the youth numbers aren't where that they're wanting them. So, and then
And you
ESPN's
think a
dropping them.
salary cap will change that, Kyle?
I think that young people, when they're starting to look at what sports they're going to follow, and they see one that has 0 salary cap, yeah, that could be a
What
determinant.
you think that's you? That would make me want to
It
play
was for
baseball.
me,
Juan
man.
Soto just signed a $750 million contract.
W
that
w
would that would make me want to play baseball, and you don't have to worry about getting a
well,
terrible
yeah,
injury.
if I was
Uh,
playing it, but I'm talking about just the viewership. I'm just
okay,
telling you, I'm just being honest with you. The
uh,
lack of salary cap is a definite turn off for somebody like myself watching.
I get it. You're not the only one who said that. I've heard that before too, actually, with small market teams versus big market teams. I get it. But
And like the 2 biggest teams are, the Yankees and the Dodgers. So you got California and New York, and the middle of the country can't stand those 2 places. So of course, the lack of salary cap annoys, I think, a lot of people in the middle of the country and probably turns them off to
yeah,
baseball.
but they've only have one World Series between them in the last 20 years. So like, who cares?
Yeah, but they can still buy up all the best players, you
Sure, but
know.
if they're not winning, who cares? Isn't that cooler to be like,
all right,
look at the
gentlemen, we're gonna
Astros?
move. We
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to move
yeah. I
forward.
know.
We're running out of time. So
Conversation. Hey, a good off-season conversation though. Let's put that in the queue for
All
off-season.
right.
definitely. So let's go ahead and transition to the NFL because we only have about 40 minutes left. Take us away, Hater.
All right, so all right, so our games of the week. We'll start with number 1. The number 10 Los Angeles Rams travel to the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. They are three
Best
and a
game of the
half
week
point. Oh, we'll see.
besides Monday night.
Yeah, but but Philadelphia is a 3.5 point favorite here. It's a rematch of the playoff game from last year, and I think some weaknesses are going to be exposed in this game. But I'll leave it up to the panel. What do you guys think? Start with you, Mr. Raider.
Let me marinate on that one for a minute because I got some conflicting thoughts on that. Hmm.
I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. And I know, Rico, you were like, or Hater, you're like, oh, I don't know about that. But Monday is not the weekend, brother. I know Monday night's going to be a great game. Monday night's
Okay,
going to be a great game. But
fair enough.
that's this game underrated, bro. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for this game.
Yeah, I got the Eagles winning. They're at home, they have momentum, and I think the Rams pass offense might struggle against the Philly D. So,
Yeah, no, okay.
I got the Eagles. I do think it'll be a close game, but I got the Eagles winning.
So I got the Eagles winning. Think about it because I was kind of trying to compare and see where they are from a defense perspective and the offense, and I think on paper it's fooling. They're not. They're pretty much equal. So, but I think experience is going to come down to it, and I think the Eagles are going to get it done tonight or in that matchup. So I'm pulling Eagles.
What say you, Angry Joy?
I have to go with the Eagles. I don't know any way around it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'm the only one that's standing 10 toes down. I got the Rams actually pulling the upset on this one. Biggest reason why is the Adoree Jackson, the number 2 corner for the Eagles, has not been tested the way the Rams can actually test them.
Yeah.
Yes, I know they have their D-line and stuff like that, but the one thing I noticed though, Jalen Carter in his game against the Chiefs, he looked out of shape, man.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
he
very
did.
surprised by that. So it's just like the
I
Rams
think he'll be
offensive
better.
line is not he'll get better, but I'm just very surprised given the fact that he was, he was willing to spit on somebody. You would think that he was, ready to roll, But beside all that, I think the offensive line for the Rams are not terrible, right? They're not terrible. I think they can hold up just enough. And Matt Stafford, he's savvy enough to where he can squeeze out a win anywhere. And here's the biggest take on this, honestly. The only reason that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense can run the way that they can run is because it's very rare where they can go up against a team that can actually put up points. If you force them to actually have to pass the ball, now it puts Jalen Hurts to the test at that point. And I feel like
Well,
the Rams can do that.
Uh, yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. That's kind of where I was at when I was looking at the teams comparables. Man, they're pretty much even, but I don't know, man. I think Jalen Hurts has shown that he can also throw the rock too, though. So I think
for
it's going to
sure.
be
And
a 30
and
point plus game.
and I think everybody, all the AJ Brown fantasy owners out there should don't worry about it. I think this is a game he gets right.
Yeah.
Vegas does have the Rams getting 3.5 here, which basically is kind of like it's almost like an even game here. Vegas feels like it's pretty even. I will say, and the audience will hear me say this a lot. You guys know I don't like West Coast teams going to the East for an early game. That's the only thing that worries me. So I do think it's a close game, and I do think it's a very good game, but I do think the Eagles pull it out in the end.
All right. Well, then that takes us to the Broncos, who are number 13 this week. They are going to the Chargers, who are number 8 this week.
Ooh.
The Broncos are coming off of a heartbreaking loss to the Colts last week, while the Chargers basically just put belt to ass to the Raiders. And now they're at home. I
Watch
think
your
this
mouth.
is the first
Watch your mouth.
I'm just stating facts here, sir. I'm just stating facts. Uh the
That's what
Chargers
Hater does.
yeah. The Chargers, I believe this is their first home game of the season. So they were in Brazil, which was classified as a home
home
game for
game,
them, which
yeah.
is nonsense. And
Mm.
then they were at the Raiders. So this is their first home game of the season. And now they get to welcome in a Broncos team that hopefully they went back to Denver, grabbed their defense, and hopefully they'll bring it to LA with them. The Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite here. So given that, I think Vegas is a little bit disrespecting Denver here. I don't think I don't think it's that far fetched for the teams to compete very well. It is a divisional game, but I mean I'm not the expert here. I think Angry Joey will probably have more of an expertise on this game than most of us. So what do you think?
Okay, so I think that the Broncos are going to be playing mighty pissed. First of all, their defense has not lived up to expectation. And I think that Vance Joseph is going to be riding their ass something along with Surtain. I think that their defense is going to come out hard. I think that they need better linebacker help. I don't think that they've been getting much help in the middle. They need to slow down the run, especially against this Harbaugh running team, with Hampton and so on and so forth. I actually see the Broncos not coasting into the Charger Stadium, but I see them winning it by a very, very, very slight margin. I think that they're going to be playing some very vitriol type football.
Yeah, I'm with Vegas on this one. I've got the Chargers winning. I think they look really good so far, especially the passing game. So, and they're at home, so I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. But I do have the Chargers winning as well.
Can I just say how proud I am of the Chargers? 'Cause, so coming into this year with Harbaugh at coach, what did we all think? What did every single one of us think? Oh, they're just going to run the ball all the time, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What they did was the total opposite of that. Do you know that they are passing the ball at like a prolific level that we haven't seen ever. Like it's insane. And if you own one of those receivers in fantasy, you are super happy because they can go off any given week because they don't even throw to the running back and tight end. They only throw to the receivers. It's crazy. Like it the, this stuff just doesn't happen in football a lot, and it's super like refreshing to see. And I am just a super fan now of the Chargers. I just want to watch them play every week. It's really cool.
Well,
Justin Herbert is legit MVP candidate. They look incredible, and I'm just so proud of Harbaugh and the coaching staff to just zig when everybody thinks you're gonna zag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so does
just so
Harbaugh
cool.
does well did Harbaugh was he known for throwing the ball in college because that was his game
No.
plan, or because he was dealing with Michigan quarterbacks? I mean, which
I knew it. Knew that's what was going to happen.
Well, even when he was with San Francisco, he was never a heavy. He was never ever has he been a heavy passer in his whole coaching career.
sorry, Tony, I was just using that to throw it.
Yeah, I know what
Oh,
you were
okay,
trying
sorry.
to do.
I saw
I
that
know what you
coming.
were trying to do, ass. I know what you were trying to do. But, oh my God. Anyway,
No, they look great. Yeah, I'm impressed because I didn't know how well Harbaugh was gonna do immediately coming back into the NFL. I know he's been there before, but
When coaches can adjust like that, based like to change your
Mhm.
philosophy based
Yeah.
on shit that you think can work, because maybe you would think that the Rashawn Slater injury would made him even more run heavy, but no,
yeah.
they're even like it's just super impressive, dude. So I brought up the fantasy shit. 82% when they throw the ball, 82% of their passes go to the wide receiver, which is
Crazy.
right.
That is so
Since 2011, the highest wide receivers since 2011 was 75%. So they're significantly even higher than that. Like, if they keep this up, you should be trading for every single one of the Chargers receivers in fantasy. I know that's not like I know I'm changing the fantasy, but what they're doing is impressive. It's insane, and I think it's awesome, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I got the Chargers winning this game too. It's not against you, Angry Joey, but it's just they're on a heater right now, dude. And especially given the fact of how your defense has been looking, especially with the type of secondary that they have, and the fact that against two other teams that have pretty significant secondaries of their own, well, maybe not the Raiders, but at least with the Chiefs, we know what they bring to the table, and they've literally made it a point to throw on them, and they have succeeded. So, and like y'all said, for Harbaugh and Greg Roman, their offensive coordinator, who's known for running the ball, and the way they're coming up this year is throwing everybody for a loop. So I don't see that changing. It'll definitely be a close game, but again, because the Broncos have basically come out the stumbling blocks, not at full stride as they should. Another horse term, but I got the Chargers winning this one.
I have the Chargers winning this one too, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. I see a 27-21 score, maybe 24-21.
Hey, look, Vegas sees it close. I think it's going to be close. I think this is. I do think the Broncos match up better, but this is kind of like the Chiefs game, right? Which was close. This is a tough matchup. It is. Like, the Broncos do match up pretty well with them. So we'll see, because Surtain can take away McConkey or whoever he goes against, he'll eliminate them. So it's gonna be I can't wait to watch the game.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That's for sure.
The next game on the slate is the Cincinnati Bengals, who are number 11 this week, going to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is the battle of the backups. You have Jake Browning for the Bengals going up against Carson Wentz. The ghost of Carson Wentz is back again in Minnesota. And Lord have mercy, I have no idea how.
Wait, hold on. You said the ghost of Carson Wentz?
The ghost of Carson Wentz. Yes, I said it. What? What's the problem?
It's just hilarious. It just, yeah. I mean, because it's true. It's hilarious.
But yeah, but you got also great wide receiver matchup here because you got Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, for their respective teams. And I know Aaron Jones is hurt. I don't think he's playing in this game, but you have Chase Brown for the Bengals. But I think the biggest matchup, I think, is Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, seeing what type of, mixed coverages he's going to use to shake up Jake Browning and his true start here. So I got the Vikings pulling this out because they're the home team here, but I think we're going to see some fireworks here. So I'm thinking 27-24, the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I mean, it's a wash because they both have backup quarterbacks, but I at least know who Carson Wentz is, and I've never heard of Jake Browning before. So I'm, I'm gonna I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Kyle, that's the best. That's the best pick ever. I love it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Vikings as well. I just don't think that without Burrow, I just don't think that that the Bengals stand much of a chance. They don't have any defense. They don't have, and unless you can get the ball in the hands of the receiver, then I don't think that the Bengals have much of a chance. They have no running game to speak of. I think that the Vikings, they have a better defense. That's my take.
So I'm gonna take the opposite stance of that. And I'm gonna say that yes, you're right, Angry Joey, that the Vikings defense is better. I like the fact that Browning has been there for years though, and we know that they have talent on offense. So I'm gonna rely on that and the rapport that he probably has with those receivers. I think he's just gonna keep peppering Jamar Chase with targets. Chase Brown, I think, is finally gonna have a decent game. He's been getting the touches, but he hasn't been doing anything. I don't know. They're in Minnesota in the dome. I think I'm just gonna take the comfort level of Browning with his receivers the over Wentz, who hasn't even practiced with Justin Jefferson, right? So I'm gonna take that. I'm just gonna go with the comfort level of the Bengals. I'm gonna go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals too, only because you might not have heard of Chase before, Woo Pig, but he started 4 games for the Bengals already, and he was very good. Not
Who?
not great, but didn't lose the game for him. And
You mean
I agree with Tony with Takes 100%. He's been in that system for several years now. I think he's going to be a little bit better than people think, and I think Flores got a little bit exposed as far as
I don't
his
like his
defense.
name either. His name doesn't sound like a. He has a backup quarterback name, not a starting quarterback name.
Damn, why don't you say something about his mama next? Jeez.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Dang, what did he do to you?
Hey,
I don't like your name. That's why you suck.
You can't tell me I'm not the only one who ever looks at a quarterback's name and be like, "That's not starting quarterback name. That's not." You can't be calling out that name.
You can't have more. You can't have a certain amount of syllables and shit.
Yeah. Wentz. That sounds like a starting quarterback. Carson Wentz. Even though he kind of sucks, but his name.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well,
Nah, but my pick is the Bengals anyway. Well, who's next?
all right. So next game is the Arizona Cardinals, who is number 20 this week. They go to the number 9 49ers. San Francisco has they're a 2-point favorite here. It was 1.5, but it's now moved to 2. I believe Brock Purdy will not play in this game, so Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones.
Mac
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah. He'll get to start again, and Kyler Murray will.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to point out that I think in the last pod I said don't sleep on Mac Jones. Remember that? I just
You
want
did.
to point that out.
You did. They did what they had to do against the Saints.
You mean don't sleep on Kyle Shanahan's Walkmans?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. But Kyler Murray, who had some weird comments about, he was asked about throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., to which he said, the ball will find you or whatever or something. He was very dismissive of it, which is not very encouraging for all of those who have Marvin Harrison Jr. in fantasy. But because of that, I got the 49ers winning this game. The magic of Mac Jones in the Shanahan offense, I think, will pull it out. Robert Saleh does have the 49ers defense humming, and And unfortunately for Kyler, his roadrunner legs will do what it does, but his again, his attitude towards the game just really it just irks
So
me.
disrespectful.
It just does. It just irks me. It just irks me. So yeah, I got the 49ers winning this game. What say y'all?
I don't think he loves football. I think that's what I don't think he loves football. He loves Call of Duty, but he likes football,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right there with you. You know, it just it hurts you, that to see somebody that's in such a prestigious position that just doesn't seem to really love the game or appreciate his position. But I think that the 49ers are going to win this one as well. I think that there's more heart in that team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I feel like being contrarian because I could see either way here. If normally I'd pick the 49ers as a dead giveaway, but them dealing with backup quarterback. But yeah, I think with their defense and at home, I'll go with the 49ers as well. But I could see the Cardinals haven't had a terrible. Aren't they 2-0 right now?
They are. They're both 2-0. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
but but the caveat though is the Arizona Cardinals have defeated the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. So take that for what you will.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
It's true.
also play the Saints. But yeah, your point's valid.
Yeah, yeah. I'll go with the 49ers and a squeaker.
Yeah, I got the 49ers winning this one as well. I think this is going to be a really quick game. I think it's going to be over by the start of the second half.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
I
Okay,
get a blowout.
so of course you guys know I'm gonna pick the damn Niners, but they we the Cardinals always play us tough. So it's always gonna be close games when we play. Obviously it's a divisional game. Mac Jones is our starting quarterback. It's not ideal. Jawan Jennings may not play in this game. We still don't know right now, so that could be huge. Uh, so with Woo Pig here, we'll pull it out hopefully, but it's going to be a very close game. There is no way that this is a blowout in either direction.
The last game that we're going to preview tonight, it's on Monday night. It is my Detroit Lions,
Ooh, baby.
number 6 this week. They go to the number 2 Baltimore Ravens.
Game of the week. Game of the week.
Man, look here. We're coming off a win where we put up a 50 burger on, putting belt to ass to the Bears. But now we're getting our first real test of the season. I don't even categorize the Packer game in that way, but definitely this one going on the road to Baltimore is definitely a place of horror for us because I think the last time we played there, we got our ass kicked. Like I think they got up on us like 36-3 or something like that before halftime. It was stupid. But yeah, so we got it, man. I don't know how we're gonna do it. Hard overhead here, 28-24 Lions. That's what I'm calling here. Because I guess if nothing else, because Baltimore, every so often, they just let a game slip. Now, technically, they already did it against Buffalo this year, but they also, like last year, when they for some odd reason, they lost to the Raiders at home. So I'm thinking, they might do it again. So that's all I got. It's just nothing but hope and a prayer right here.
Yeah, I think you're at your mind on this one. I think the Ravens are gonna. And I picked the Lions 2 weeks in a row, but this week I'm going with the Ravens. I think Lamar is going to put on a clinic. Your defense has been a little inconsistent. I think Lamar is going to take advantage of it, and yeah, I think they're gonna win this one big. Unfortunately,
Okay, so unfortunately, beating the brakes off of the Bears, that's kind of like kissing your as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you didn't really win anything there. I'm just talking. I mean, yeah, yeah, that was a cupcake win if ever I saw one. But you handle business, and that's what's important. So here's the question: are you going to get Week 1 Detroit Lions or Week 2 Detroit Lions? I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle, to be honest. And in Baltimore, I think it's going to be tough to overcome that. So I'm going to take Baltimore, just by a very, very little bit. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a very hard, tough game. I think that there's going to be some some ground and pound, and we'll see which one's which one's the best.
Yeah,
I think
Lamar
that's well said.
Jackson. Lamar Jackson, great quarterback name. Jared Goff. I don't know. That's a little iffy.
Oh my
You know?
goodness.
Not a lot of not a lot of
I will
syllables.
say this:
Big.
Jared Goff.
Hey, not a lot of syllables, so I like it.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is an exceptional quarterback. I really
No,
do.
I'm just kidding. I'm
You
just
know,
kidding.
I mean, he's a very, very good quarterback, and I think that there's a lot of people that have actually thrown shade his way. Yeah, but I think that he's a very, very good quarterback, but he's
Mhm.
been thrown into a very, very difficult position with
He's the
Baltimore.
most underrated
Yep.
quarterback in the NFL.
And
Yep.
not only that, coming off of a loss against a 1-point loss against Buffalo, I think there's going to be some inspiration in this game in Baltimore.
I think Baltimore takes it. I think it's not. I agree with you, Angry Joey. I think there's going to be a mix between week 1 and week 2. Detroit showing up. Sorry, hater. I just don't see them blowing past. I don't see them being able to do to the Ravens what they did to the Bears. So I got
No,
Oh, well, that's impossible.
right.
no,
Yeah,
we
I
don't
got the
expect
Ravens
that at
winning.
all.
Okay, so we're kind of pressed for time. So what's next?
Well, that's the preview. So now we have to log in our upset picks of the week. I guess
Oh,
I'll start first, and I already previewed it already. I got the Rams here as my upset pick of the week. Like I already stated why. So I'll just toss it into Angry Joey.
Well, let's see here. All the games here. How about the Raiders over the Commanders?
I was going to
Okay.
pick that. That's a
Okay.
good one.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
hate
good
it.
one. That was going to be mine too. So
I thought Marcus Mariota starting for the Commanders, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That
crazy.
seems pretty safe, but that's fine.
we'll take it.
Man,
We'll
we'll see.
All right. For mine, I've got the Texans beating the Jaguars.
Well, that's not a. You said upset, right?
That is an upset. The Jags are favored to win.
It is actually an
They
upset.
are.
That was,
That
that
would
was
be
my
an upset,
initial,
yes.
that was my
Great.
initial upset, but I was kind of going down the line here, and
That's crazy. Tony, what you got?
All right, I got. Before the season started, nobody thought the Colts were going to be very good. I get it. They perform way above expectations first 2 weeks. Great, good for them. But Tennessee, with a rookie quarterback, has hung in there on 2 games. I know they're 0-2, but they hung in there. They're heavy underdogs at home against a division rival Colts. I think the Titans win this game. Give me the Titans.
whoa,
That's a good pick.
that's a huge take there.
Yeah. I'm
Division
gonna
rival.
switch mine. I'm gonna go with that, Tony. I like that. That's a little
Oh.
adventurous. I'm gonna go with that too.
Damn.
All right.
Good.
So, all right.
Now
so
we
just to
lost, Jules. Now we lost. No.
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
You're probably
you know what?
right.
And they might win because I've picked the Titans in my upset pick the last 2 weeks. So you might actually catch money on this one.
There you go.
All right. So to recap our upsets, Tony, you got the Titans. I have the Rams. Angry Joey has the Raiders. Mr. Raider picked the Titans, and Woo Pig has the Texans. So very interesting week indeed. But I believe we've knocked out all of our mandatory items there, Mr. Raider.
We just have some bets now. So Tony with takes. This is your segment, man. Take it away.
All right, buddy. Let's go over a few. We're gonna start with some props, okay? So for those of you who don't know, we can't bet on traditional sports in Texas. So we can do underdog and DraftKings, where we can bet on player props. So a couple player props I really like this weekend are, I think my favorite one may be Carson Wentz over 10.5 rushing yards. And look, I understand when you get into your apps, some of these props may have been removed from the board because of weird shit happening with all the backup quarterbacks and stuff. But if that prop is still there, I love Wentz over 10.5 rushing yards, that is. I also really like Facial Tootin over 1.5 receptions. Now, him being incorporated into that. So they traded Tank Bigsby to the Eagles, right? And then immediately he starts to earn about a 30% share of that backfield in week 2. great to see. We saw him score a touchdown. We saw him get involved. He's super athletic. He's a better athlete than Travis Etienne. We know that. And but we also know he's not going to get as much work as Etienne for now. But he will keep getting more work. So I think his rushes will increase, and I think his receptions will increase. I think they want to get the ball in his hands, and his prop right now is only 1.5. So over 1.5 receptions for Bashal Tune, I think it's a guarantee. Okay, my next one, real quick. I know this sounds like a lot, but Jamar Chase is 6.5 right now. I like the over because I think Browning is just going to hone in on him and just keep throwing him. Like, what are you going to do if you're a backup quarterback, right? You're just going to keep getting the second best receiver in the NFL a whole bunch of receptions. So I think that's a pretty safe bet. Not as safe as the first two, but I think it's pretty safe. Also, Carson Wentz loves to throw to the receiver. And I don't know why I know TJ Hawkinson has been looking terrible, but his props keep moving down. And I don't understand why he's at like 36.5 receiving yards for this game. I would take the over on 36.5 receiving yards for TJ Hawkinson, like without question. Wentz has always targeted his tight ends throughout his whole career.
What do you
I know
what was his over under?
36.5 receiving yards for TJ Hawkinson, which moved down from like 40.5. So yeah,
take the over. That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll take that too.
Well, look, it's a backup quarterback. The offense hasn't been performing well, and Hawkinson has not looked great. So I get it.
Yeah, but he actually has a no-name quarterback coming in. Who the hell else is he going to throw to? He's going to hit his check down or his tight end. That's an easy.
And Aaron Jones is not playing in this game, by the way. Jordan Mason, they don't really deploy as a pass catching running back like Aaron Jones, So yeah.
That's
so
like it.
easy over.
Cool.
I like it a lot. So yeah,
All
I mean,
right.
I can go on all day, guys, but I know we don't have a lot of time. Okay.
Well, I think those are some pretty good bets too. So, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sign up. Well, first of all, does anybody got anything else? Any go backs? Woo Pig, you got anything?
I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm good. We're recording this on Saturday. I'm watching my college football. If things aren't going great for my personal team, but I love this day, man. Love watching some college football. Next pod, we're
Alrighty.
gonna have some good things to talk about.
Absolutely.
Big.
There
Tony,
you go.
what takes you good? You got anything? Any other go backs? You good?
Ask me. I can go all night, brother. It's early. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, right. Angry Joey, you good? Any go backs?
I'm good, man. I was sitting there watching my Irish kick the shit out of Purdue. So I'm finally okay with my college football, so to speak.
Hater with facts, you good? Any
Stuff
go
to
backs?
say. Yeah, I think he has things to say.
No, sir. I'm good.
All right, so let's go ahead and move to Alamo Minute, where we can give a shout out to somebody local. Again, we are the 210 show, so we're based out of San Antonio, or the Alamo Minute can use for something nationally. And we also have a segment called Kiss My Grits by the originator, the one and only Hater with Facts. So I'm just going to start it over with alphabetical and work our way down. Angry Joey, do you have any Kiss My Grits or Alamo Minutes?
Alamo minutes to my Dodgers for finally pulling their head out of their ass and doing what they need to do and getting to where they need to be.
That's
But
not an
other
Alamo minute. That's terrible.
all right, whatever. I don't have anything else.
All right. Hater with Facts, Alamo Minute, or Kiss My Grits? Or both?
Actually, I do have an Alamo Minute. I want to give a shout out to one of the local restaurants here.
Not a sponsor.
It's not, hashtag not a sponsor, but it's Bigga on the Banks. That's BIGA on the Banks.
Ooh.
They are they're right there off of the Riverwalk. Is a very, very, very good dining experience. I pretty much guarantee at this point. Me and my
What
wife
was the
love
name
it.
of it?
And
What was the
Bigga
name?
on the name is Bigga on the Banks. BIGA on the Banks.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Oh my God.
I love it when you call me Big Pop.
Oh my. Well, that's what happens after that dinner. But go ahead.
Hey, no, I'll second
I'll talk about.
that. I'll second that.
You get that ribeye, you know what's up.
Restaurant though. I've
Yeah.
been there before. Good good food, great atmosphere, great location. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
All right.
Um,
Kiss my
I,
grit.
I, oh,
No, I don't have
go
a
ahead.
kiss my grits this week.
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
I just have an honorable minute from my local bartender at Red Robin, where I have to go every Saturday because I have to drop my daughter off to her thing. So James at Red Robin on Calabria in 1604. Yes, that whole crew is cool, man. They've been together for a while. It's just a good atmosphere, good food. It's a good place.
Which
Yeah.
location there, Tony?
The Red Robin on 1604 in Calabria.
Oh yeah, I know it well.
Yeah, right down the street from me.
I need to revisit that place. I haven't been there in a minute.
James,
they-
the bartender, he's
that's-
always working. He's fucking awesome.
James. All right. All right.
Hey, I'm
Well,
gonna go there and tell him I heard on you were on the 210 show podcast. You got a call out.
Tell
So-
him, and if it's not him, it's probably his son Joey who be working too. Yeah, it's
I might
cool,
be
man.
able to remember that name.
Yeah, you may.
All right, cool. Boo Pig, you got an Alamo minute or a shout out or a kiss my
Yeah.
grits?
Shout out to the NCAA. They're trying to fix the transfer portal. So they removed the spring transfer window and they consolidated it so they only have one transfer period. Before they used to have like multiple transfer periods, and it was a huge pain in the butt, not only for the coaches but the universities if they were in the off season and stuff. So they're doing that, and then they're also debating on whether or not to get rid of the red shirt year and just switch to a 5-year eligibility model. So I think both of those are good changes, and so shout out to the NCAA for trying to make some rule changes.
I like it. I like it. You got to kiss my grits?
Nice.
Or you good?
No, I'll hold on to my grits.
All right. As far as me, my wife and I, we went and saw the Stephen King movie. Was it The Longest Walk, I think, or something like that?
The long one.
Um,
Yeah.
The Long Walk. Yeah, man. Wow. That movie was, whew. So shout out to Stephen King. I don't know how he comes up with all these stories. The man is just an absolute savant and genius. And my wife and I thoroughly enjoyed
That's a funny
that
thing.
movie.
You know, I don't know how many of you guys have actually read any of Stephen King's
A
book,
lot.
but he is not all about horror.
No.
That's the funny thing about him. You know, I mean, he is a fan.
And the Dark Tower series.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
even
yeah.
written a fantasy series too.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Tower.
He
dude.
actually
I
did
mean,
one. It was called Eye of the Dragon. It was a fantasy / murder mystery. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
he did.
I know his work very well.
Speaking of which, has anybody gone and watched that movie Him yet?
No,
No,
but
I haven't seen
plan on it.
that.
No,
But
yeah,
have you actually seen Weapons? That was another good one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a special kind of sinister there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta
I'm
check
thinking. I'm thinking. I'm not a huge horror fan, but Him looks pretty good. It's
him.
Yeah.
I didn't know they made a movie about me.
Ha!
Oh Lord.
No, it's like a
This
football
motherfucker.
horror movie or something. It's
Yeah, it's a horror.
uh,
It's almost like a sports horror movie. So it's like
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
yeah.
Okay. So I don't have a kiss my grits this time, but I will have one that I've been working on, and it'll be for next week. And I just gotta say, man, get your seatbelts ready, get your popcorn and your water, because this is gonna be a good kiss my grits for the next pod.
Woo!
But before we sign off, though, hit us with the socials, Hater with Facts.
All right, y'all. So we are on Apple, we are on Spotify, and we are on YouTube. If you can hit us up on YouTube.
And
search
Overcast.
the- Oh, yes, and Overcast. I always forget about that one. Anyway, we're at Overcast. We are on. You can just search the 210 Show. If you want to hit us up on, watch us on YouTube, it's the 210 Show Podcast. If you want to hit us up by email, old school way, you can hit J up at j@the210show.com, or me, Hater, H8R, with facts, FAQS, at the210show.com. And we also have a Discord as well. The link is on our YouTube, our YouTube description. So if you want to hit us up or join there. But that's it.
Absolutely. And then we're going to have a special announcement for the people who leave reviews for us and give us favorable reviews, 5 stars. We're going to sign some t-shirts and send them out to you. But we'll have some more on that on the next podcast once we solidify it a little more. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for listening to us. Thanks for laughing with us. We appreciate your time as always. And make sure that you like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
All right. God bless. Take care.